Welcome to the Peep Show podcast.
News and stories from the sex industry.
With Jessie and PJ Sage. Welcome back to another episode of the Peep Show podcast. This week we talked to Allie, Knox and Kiara, Skye about the intersection of the tech industry and sex work and why crypto may offer solutions to many of the payment processing issues faced by the adult industry. But first, we check in with Sybil Fury about the International Whores Day digital rally that will take place on June 2nd.
This episode of the Peep Show podcast is sponsored by Quick and Dirty Media.
Are you an independent content creator, webcam model, or clip maker? Quick and Dirty Media can help you with your video editing and production needs at a reasonable price, allowing you to devote more time to creating your content. As a special offer for Peep Show podcast listeners, the first 5 content creators who submit a video for editing will receive their first order free. Make sure to use the promo code PeepShowPod. Find Quick and Dirty Media on Twitter at QuickDirtyMedia or send an email to info@quickanddirtymedia.com. Quick and Dirty Media is proud to be an adult-friendly business. We invited Mistress Sybil to talk about what they're doing in New York for International Whores Day. So welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Can you tell us a little bit about what International Whores Day is?
So International Whores Day takes place every year on June 2nd, and it commemorates an action that took place in Lyon, France, where more than 100 sex workers occupied a church to protest their inhumane working conditions. It lasted for 8 days, and it's sort of remembered as the dawn of the sex worker rights movement. And every year, sex worker organizers organize protests and celebrations across the world to commemorate that day.
Yeah, and this year is a little bit different given COVID. So what you and some of the people you're working with have done is put together a digital rally, right?
Yeah, so we were in the midst of planning a huge in-person event to commemorate the 45th anniversary of International Whores Day, which is this year. And then obviously COVID happened. And so, the IWD Coalition, which is this group of different sex worker groups from around New York City, came together and tried to figure out what we would do instead. And we realized that people needed a place to convene, to share their stories, to speak to the resilience and the resistance that sex workers have been demonstrating in this time, and to protest the Earn It Act, which is currently being considered, that would make online conditions even harder for sex workers. This time it became clear that we needed to do something.
Yeah.
And so we decided to coordinate a digital rally, use a lot of the speakers that we were going to have in person, and use the platform of social media, which is where so much of sex worker politics is already happening, as the sphere for a digital protest.
Yeah, so what is this digital protest going to look like?
So we're asking everyone to dress in all red, which is the color of sex worker activism and community, and post photos of themselves speaking about their stories of survival, of resilience in this time, and then have a dialogue on social media about, what is happening in the sex worker community right now.
Oh, wow. That's really great. So do you think that people are going to submit vlog style storytelling on social media, or what do you anticipate they're going to contribute?
Yeah, that's what we're hoping. We're hoping that it'll be, stories that they record, or stories that they tell in captions, people communicating through reposting and sharing each other's stories. There's a number of ways that the conversation can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems really important, both for visibility of the movement, but also just to help people feel solidarity with one another and not feel isolated, especially during the COVID-19 stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Both PJ and I talk about this a lot, and this is one of the reasons why we like podcasting, is that we actually think that storytelling is really a really powerful political tool in destigmatizing and humanizing sex workers. So I love this idea of this whole digital platform being, or this whole digital rally being one that focuses on storytelling.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's how so many of us communicate already. I'm telling our stories through platforms like Twitter, especially.
Yeah.
So to see that as a site where our community can really come together in this day and show solidarity, in a way that's completely different than what was even possible 45 years ago when this day started.
Right.
I think it's going to be really powerful.
Who's been working with you on the planning for this?
Sure. So the event is planned by the IWD 2020 Coalition, which is a group of sex worker organizations in New York. It includes groups like Swap Brooklyn, Swap Bronx, Decrim New York, Survived and Punished, Kink Out, Red Canary Song, and a few other organizations, Glitz as well. So yeah, it's been a collaboration between those groups.
Nice. And if people want to contribute their own stories, their own pictures, where would they do that?
Yes. So you can find all the information that you need at internationalhorrorsday.com. That's going to be our landing page for resources that you can share, what to do, how to get to all the events that are happening, how to get to all the other IWD events that are happening around the country. There is information on the history of International Horrors Day and all sorts of COVID-specific resources for sex workers. And for social media, what you'll do is you're going to tag hashtag International Horrors Day 2020 and hashtag respect sex workers. Post photos of yourselves wearing red with messages of solidarity. Yeah.
Great. And is there also going to be planned talks?
Yes. So from 12 to 2 p.m. Eastern Time on International Horrors Day, there's going to be a live stream event featuring, I believe, over 10 different sex worker organizations speaking about COVID-19, Earn It, and decriminalization. It'll be hosted by Ashley Page, and it'll be awesome.
Nice.
And then the next day, we're doing an artist panel for the artists who are contributed to the Sex Worker Zine that we're also launching on International Horrors Day, featuring art by 20 different sex workers and co-strugglers. So MoMA PS1 is hosting a panel and Q&A that'll take place on June 3rd from 8 to 9 p.m.
Wow, neat.
Yeah.
That's all awesome. We'll definitely link to all of that day of, and of course we'll be watching.
It. Yeah.
Yay! We can't wait to see you all there.
Yeah. Sounds great. Is there anything else that you think people should know about leading up to the event?
Just that there's going to be so many different events happening all over the world, and something that's going to be really unique about the fact that all of the IWD events are happening digitally is that for the first time in history, we can show up and support sex workers all over the world. There's a fundraiser concert happening in Argentina. There is a variety show happening in Denver, and we can show up to those events. And I encourage everyone to buy tickets, to show up and see what's happening with sex workers around the world on this International Horrors Day.
That's so great. Thank you so much.
Awesome. It was a pleasure.
Thanks for joining us today. Jessie and I are dedicated to platforming sex worker voices and covering important political issues for those in the sex trades. But we can't do it without your help.
If you believe in our mission, find us at patreon.com/peepshowpodcast and show us some love.
We're also seeking advertisers to help us grow. Thanks for helping us make Peep Show happen.
Hi, Allie. Thanks for chatting with us today.
Thank you for having me.
So we got together at AVN and we interviewed you and Kiara about the work that you were doing at Spank Chain. And obviously, a lot has happened in the world since then. So can you catch us up with what's been happening since we talked to you in January?
Totally.
We should just say for our listeners, we're going to play that interview in full in just a minute here.
So Kiara and I are unfortunately no longer with Spank. We were laid off due to all the corona things. My job was almost all travel, and now we can't do any of that fun stuff. So
right, yeah.
I'm grounded. Yeah.
Is that a big shift for you?
Yeah, for sure.
All the adult expos and stuff pretty much got canceled.
All that stuff. Yeah. And then I can't leave. I can't even go back to, California where they were. So it's a real big bummer. It was a big loss.
Yeah.
I hope that I can go back and work on the project later on because they're still building. They're just a really tiny team now doing some cool stuff. They're still working on all the projects that they were working on before. So I hope that they can get some things out. This world can come back together and maybe we can play again.
Yeah. So what have you been doing?
So now I'm here all the time, every single day, every single minute.
That's how I feel.
I haven't done this, right? I haven't done this in years, like almost 3 years now. So I'm just like, oh God. So I've done a lot of home improvement projects because
nice.
I'm like looking at the same walls all the time and I can't take the paint color or I need the wallpaper or I need shelves or something, all those things that I haven't even like bothered with for years. So I'm taking care of that.
That's how I am.
Yeah, right? I just can't sit here and just stare at things.
Yeah, PJ's been mad gardening.
Yeah, me too. I got some real tomato plants right now.
Ooh, nice.
Gardening's good. I'm videos, lots of videos. I've been doing, oh my God. I went on this like insane goal for myself and I was like, I have to get my income back up to where it was before pre-Spank. Because when I worked for them for 2.5 years, I kind of put my own brand on hold. So I wasn't camming, I wasn't filming as many clips as I was. And prior to that, like I was full-time hustle. So I kind of lost that when I, started focusing on crypto stuff and had a fucking full-time job.
Right.
So now I pulled back and I get to cam. I get to make videos again. I've been making the stupidest, greatest customs in the entire world. I'm so happy right now. Like I made this brand where I was like, oh, I love the weirdos. I'll do the strange stuff. And like people just were like, okay, fine, fuck it. So all the weirdos started coming. So now I'm just getting the craziest, coolest stuff. I'm like so thankful.
Yeah, tell us about one of them.
So I'll tell you the one that I got a lot of press on.
Yeah, let's talk about that because you were covered in like Rolling Stone and the New York Post and I mean we can't. Let's not bury the lead here. Let's talk about.
Okay. Oh my God, it was just crazy. Okay, so I'm a spiteful person, as you can tell from my shit posting or just by meeting me and chatting with me for about 3 minutes. You can tell that I'm incredibly petty and spiteful. So I do a lot of shit posting on Twitter about, training men or how they should be or how they constantly fuck up or how stupid they are, just kind of humiliation. And it's part marketing so I can get, the people that love that stuff in there because that's genuinely in my heart what I fucking feel a lot of the time. And I'm like just kind of fueled by people that piss me off in my life. So I'm just like, all right, cool. You pissed me off. I'm going to make 18 videos about you. Awesome. So I've been doing a whole lot of that,
Yeah.
It's great. So someone emailed me. They found me. It was a woman. She found me and she emailed me and she said, hey, I heard you make custom videos. And I'd really like you to make this video for my ex-husband. It's essentially like humiliating him for all the things that he fucked up while we were together. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is like a dream come true. Is this real? So I write her back. And I give her my standard. Like at this point, I'm still not like super pumped because I'm like, we get these requests all the time. People write us all the time. And a lot of it rarely do people follow through with something so extraordinary.
Right.
So I write her back. I give her my info and I'm like, here's how you order it. Here's my rates. Here's my websites if you want to check out what I do or whatever. So she writes back and she immediately pays. And I'm like, oh. So as she does this.
It's on.
Yeah, right. So as she does this, I look and her LinkedIn tag is in her signature of her email. And I never even saw it the first time because I was on my phone and I just like read it and got excited and replied. So this time I see it and I'm like, ooh. So I go and investigate her and she's legitimately a woman. She's a professional. And I'm just like, oh, this is good. So this might be real. Awesome. So I write her back and I say, listen, this is how I film my customs. Like I typically don't sell it if it's something super specific or it has a person's name in it or something. I just catalog that stuff in case I get sick or pregnant or I'm not going to be able to work for a while. I'll have that content.
Mm-hmm.
But I said, I typically film it to where if something's real specific and I'll say names, I'll do it in a chunk of the video to where I can edit it out and I can still sell it kind of generically.
Right.
She said, I want you to use his name and I want you to say these super specific examples. But she didn't want me to put it out there and sell that.
Yeah.
Because it's that could be some slander or, something like that. So I said, okay, I'm just going to do some super generic things that could, relate to a lot of men. And then I'll take that section out. So I sent her the entire 20-minute video that had the edit in there about, his name, all the super specific things. And then I dumbed it down essentially to an 11-minute video to where it's just generic bitching at men kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I sent it to her and she writes back. She's like, I love it. And I did it the same day, which I never do. This is how excited I was. So I get it edited. I sent it to her. She gets it. She's so excited. She sends me a tip afterward, which is like, marry me kind of shit. I feel appreciated and needed and all these things. So I don't know if she ever sent it to him I don't know if it was for her. I don't know if she just needed to get these things out.
Right.
She said that he was really into blondes and that he had an obsession with porn. So I think that's why she found me. And then she saw my shit posting. I have no idea. I don't know if she follows me. I don't know how any of that stuff happened. And I don't even care, you know? It was just like this great thing. So I tweet it. And it goes fucking viral. It has like almost 8,000 likes. And when I looked at the interaction, it has almost been seen 1 million times. Like,
yeah,
it's
that's so
insane.
wild. Yeah.
Yeah. So EJ writes me from Rolling Stone. She writes me, and she's done a couple of stories in the past, like right when I started sex work. And so she writes and she's like, I kind of want to do a story about this. Can I interview you? And I'm like, cool, whatever. This is on a Thursday. And so I guess she contacted you too.
Yeah, she did.
She's like, do you know anybody else that would have this? And I don't even know why I didn't think of you. Of course you would. Of course, you've been in this business for so long. Like, of course you've heard these things. Yeah. So she gets with you, puts the interview out on Friday morning, and then it just like fucking loses its mind. The Sun, I don't even know. The Sun is, I guess, in the UK. Like Unilad picked it up.
Oh, wow.
The New York Post called me like 3 times to get all kinds of stories on it. Like just crazy shit. And it kept going off. Like my phone kept going off on my Google alerts. And I was just like, what? And it went off for days and days and days. So then radio got a hold of it this week. So all of these radio DJs were emailing me and saying, we want you to call us on the air and berate our DJs in the morning.
Oh my gosh. Are you serious?
But so that kind of pissed me off though, because here's the thing. Like, right. So I make humiliation videos for people with a humiliation fetish. Like I'm catering to this service, right? I'm providing this thing. It's not just like this little monkey that's just walking around telling everybody that she hates them. Like, no, this is an actual thing that people are into, that they pay me for this service. Like I'm an actual professional. So I was just like, I'm not going to fucking do this just so they can get some clicks and get a morning chuckle. Like, are you kidding?
Right. Also, they're asking you to do a ton of like free labor, which is just ridiculous.
Not to mention that. So I was like, oh, fuck this. Like, I'm not interested in this. And so I kind of tweeted it out. And luckily they haven't written anything anywhere else. But yeah, it got a lot of press. It was a lot of fun. And I think it was just like, I don't know why the story got so much hits. I guess it's just because like everybody's stuck in Corona news and now, you know, different kind of news. I guess it was just something interesting and different.
I think that people who are outside of the industry don't understand like the range of things that we do. And so I think people are shocked about that. We're actually like, for us, we're like, people have all sorts of things. Like the reason EJ reached out to me is because I was talking about the fact that I had a phone sex client one time call me and all he wanted to do was for me to fight with him. Yeah. And he wanted the closure of that. And that was actually really fun because we got so into it. I remember I was sitting in the living room or in my bedroom and PJ was in the bathtub listening. And I was like yelling at this guy. I mean, he wasn't trying to listen, but he was just taking a bath. And then I started yelling at this guy. And he hung up on me. He like slammed the phone down. I mean, in like, you know, the way that you slam a cell phone. But like he hung up on me and then I was like, shit, what just happened? That was so crazy. And then PJ was like, why are you yelling at that guy? And I was like, I don't even know.
He did something.
He just asked me to. But it was really funny because he was like, do you think that you could, you know, fight with me? And I was like, I've been divorced. I can do this.
Hell yes. I was built for this, baby.
I think it's kind of interesting too because, I mean, obviously like so much of what we do and like the customs we put out are like things people are eroticizing, but like also a part of it is just like emotional labor. And in both of these cases, it seems kind of like plausible anyways that this is more about catharsis than like getting off, you know what I mean?
I totally agree. And I thought that when I wrote it back to her and she wrote back and she was like, I was so entertained. That was so wonderful. And I was just like, oh shit, that was for her.
Yeah.
Like she needed that. She needed someone that he was attracted to that took a lot of the time because that was one of the things that we agreed that I would put in there is like he had this porn obsession.
Right.
She needed this woman that he was spending a lot of, I mean, not necessarily me, who knows, or someone like me, but spending all this time on, and she needed that person to hate him too. And I mean, I honestly, that's what I think it was. I don't think that she ever sent the video. Who knows? I mean, if she did, haha. But, you know, if she didn't, like, I think it was this thing for her.
Yeah, it's so interesting though, because that makes a lot of sense to me, that it would make her feel like vindicated and good if the woman that he's spending all of this time on, that's draining her resources, like both her emotional resources and their like financial resources, also thinks he's ridiculous.
Yes, that's what I thought too. When I sent it, I was like, oh my God, maybe this is that. Which for me is so great because I feel like it was super empowering for her, for me, like all around. This was just a great fucking scenario.
Yeah.
Plus, it was an interesting story. And you know, it's funny because the people in the industry, they were all like, oh, I could do that. I do that sometimes and stuff like that. To us, this was no big deal. But to everybody out of the industry, they were just like, wait, you do what?
Right.
And it's kind of funny because oh my God, oh Jesus Christ. So this whole thing, like... My mother is, I wouldn't necessarily call her like a supportive kind of person because she's not like out there cheerleading me, but she's not like sending me hate mail or not talking to me or anything like that. She's just pretty neutral. She's pretty woke. She's pretty with it, but it's still, this is very strange to her. So I realized during this whole thing, I think that my mother for years has thought that I was an escort.
Okay.
Because I would always tell her like, Mom, the majority of the stuff I do is like telling men how stupid they are on camera. And I think that she thought that was a joke. So when this article came out, I didn't tell her anything, but she subscribes to Rolling Stone. So she got it in her email and she read it and she was just like, oh shit, I thought that this was a thing that you just told me for years because you really did something else. And I didn't realize this was a real thing. And I'm like, Mother, I was raised by women that hate men. Like, how did you not see that this was coming? Like, this was born and bred into me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then she freaks out because my dad gets Rolling Stone too.
Oh, shit.
and you know, he has no idea what I do. I mean, I don't think. Who knows? No one ever even talks about it for almost 6 years now. No one says anything. We just kind of like change the subject. She freaked
I know
out.
how that goes.
That's how we do.
Try to delete it. Yeah. So it was a whole fucking thing too. And I'm just like, oh.
I mean, people know, but you know, you're at Thanksgiving dinner and everybody's talking about their jobs and then they skip over us.
Exactly.
Yes. Right.
Oh, they're not doing anything. How are the kids doing?
Right.
Yeah. I think, you know, what's so funny about that is my mom one time, I talked to her a lot about the fact that so much of the work is not actually that like sexual. It's a lot of this sort of like talking to people about their relationship issues or whatever.
Relationship based. Yeah.
And my mom like didn't believe me at all. And she was really hostile towards me at the beginning too. I mean, she's like gotten to the point where we just like don't talk about it, or she'll talk about like my writing, but she won't talk about the actual work. So we're like at that point. And then one day she was like, I think I'm going to call you out on your bullshit. And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, I think I'm going to open a Night Flirt account and talk to those guys and see like if this is even true. And I was like, okay, go ahead.
Enjoy, Mom.
But she didn't do it. This was years ago. And then the other day it was really funny because she was like, I haven't told anybody this. It's a secret. And I thought she was going to tell me that she's like been working Night Flirt. And she told me something totally unrelated to that. But I was like gearing up like, what's happening? What are you doing? Are you a sex worker? Yeah, no. And she was like, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, God, I don't care about this.
Damn it. Never mind.
I wanted something juicier.
Yeah,
but
right?
She thought I was lying when I said that. When I said
my mom too. And now I think about it, you know, because I always had like nice things and stuff, and I traveled a lot, and she didn't buy it. And I now realize that she didn't buy it because she was so like fucking struck by that article. She was just like, you do what? And I'm like, bitch, this is what I said for 6 years. Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny. Our lives are so funny.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
So yeah, let's circle back to the interview that we're about to put on from January. When we interviewed you two, you were talking about what the new products with Spank Chain. Do you know where that is or what's going on with them now?
Yeah, so I know that before I was left, they launched the model program. So it's where you can go and put your information in and people can go tip you straight through your page. I think that they're working on an app right now to do like kind of similar to OnlyFans, a lot of crypto base. I don't know anything else past that. I haven't seen anything. Yeah. And I don't know where they are in the stages.
That would be surprising if they could have an app, wouldn't it?
It would be surprising. I know that.
Maybe on Android.
In the olden days, remember, OnlyFans had an app.
I didn't
But then they got,
remember that.
oh yeah, and then they got knocked off because they can't be adult,
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I think that's, I don't know what their workaround is if they have a workaround, I don't know what the plan is. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just know that that's what I've heard that they're working on.
Right.
I hope that they can pull something out that's really cool and useful to us, because like the idea still stands. Like we still, if we could get people to, get some more crypto adoption and pay for more things in crypto, and, we can not have those crazy charges or chargebacks and have all this privacy that crypto is like a really great thing. And I think that if we can get some people on board, like we still need this, like it's still a solution to some of the problems we have. So I really hope that they can pull it out and get a cool product out. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, that seems like a perfect segue into the interview. So why don't we go ahead and jump right in?
Okay. Sounds good. Now is a good time to hit the pause button and head over to our Patreon at patreon.com/peepshowpodcast. Even $1 a month shows us that you care and want to see Peep Show continue to thrive. Also, you can help increase our reach with a review on iTunes. All right, so we are here in the hotel room of Kiara Skye and Allie Knox of Spank Chain. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, hello, I'm Allie Knox.
Hi, I'm Kiara Skye.
Can you tell us a little bit about Spank Chain and what you do for Spank Chain?
So I'm the social media manager, and I also do some graphic design work for them.
And I've been with them for a little over 2 years now, and I'm the VP of sales.
Great. So what is Spank Chain?
So we're a cryptocurrency payment processor for the adult industry. So we do like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, a bunch of shit coins, that kind of thing. We have our own. We have our own token.
What's your own token called?
We have Spank and we have Booty.
Ooh.
Yeah. So we're really adult friendly. That was kind of the purpose, and they were really great that they hired some models that have worked in adult for a while. So that's really what we do at Spank Chain, is we represent the industry, the thing that models want or need or anything like that. So it's actually really pretty cool to be like invited into this tech space and be like appreciated as a tech person. And like we go to tech conferences and stuff, and we're definitely different. But people have accepted us. It's been really pretty good.
Do you have a tech background? No.
Just had adult backgrounds, really.
So that's actually interesting because AVN spun off of CES, right? So it used to be a tech conference. So what do you find to be the differences between like a tech conference and like an AVN, a sex porn conference?
Definitely the attire. The amount of clothes, for sure. And I don't know, I find people in the adult space a lot more down to earth and easy to talk to.
Yeah.
A lot more welcoming for sure.
Yeah.
I think tech has been kind of strange with us because they're just like, oh my God, I've seen you guys on Pornhub or whatever.
Right.
So it's been kind of like a novelty. But here we're just another part of the crew. There's nothing strange about us here. We don't stand out any differently.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it also seems like space like AVN is sort of dominated by women, right? That's who you see behind the booths. And it seems like a space like CES is the opposite. It's a lot of dudes, right?
Yeah,
The tech world is full of men. That's just,
Yeah. Yeah. So when did Spank Chain start?
November 2017, we did our ICO.
Okay.
So I started with them soon after that, and then Kiara came on in that summer. She was one of our beta test models, so she went through the beta and got all the kinks for us.
Yeah.
and then I was one of the first, I think, 20 people on the actual campsite.
What was it like on the campsite when you first started?
Honestly, the campsite was really cool. The interface, like, it's just, it's great. Like, it's clean. It was just, like, bright white and pink, and it was really pretty, and it was super easy to use and put in your goals. And just, it was easy for people to tip and everything. It was really awesome.
Yeah.
Community was really cool too, because it was people in the tech space that like they not only wanted to help the company and support the company, but they wanted to help us too.
Oh,
wanted to
nice.
help the not models, and it was people that typically like not necessarily had gone to adult stuff, so they hadn't gone to campsites or anything, but they had crypto, and they were like, "Oh, we want to use this."
Yeah.
We were kind of teaching them how to use campsites also at the same time, and they were teaching us how to use crypto. Like it was
You're
really
like, you
cool.
tip a lot.
It was much different because they would come. I know Lena Paul did a show for us,
Oh, nice.
and they just talked about math.
Oh, wow.
And stuff like that with her.
Yeah.
And it was pretty funny because it was just a completely different crew. They weren't used to having cam shows or seeing vaginas or anything like that. But they just wanted to spend and support, and they wanted to support the company. So it was really wonderful.
That's nice. Yeah.
So what happened with the campsite? Like, what's the status of that now?
So right now we have taken it down. We have like some kinks in the background and stuff like that we really wanted to figure out before we relaunch it. So that should be coming out like later this year, like something like that.
Yeah, hopefully. Unfortunately, like the way it was built on crypto, you had to like create a wallet. So it's like you have to use your seed phrases. And you don't have a password, and it's a whole fucking thing.
Right.
So like, people would forget it, or they weren't used to it because they were just trying to log in and tip and see the show or whatever. It was a thing that, we couldn't go in and help you. We couldn't get your money, and there was lots of like just problems in the background. So we have to rebuild that entire system. Which is really tough. We have to take the campsite down to do it. So we've been working on this next product that we'll talk about, and so we kind of took we're a tiny team. We're like 12 people.
Yeah.
So we took our developers over there and tried to create this other product that we knew wouldn't take a whole lot of effort
Okay.
to keep rolling. Like campsite, it was a thing we were constantly working on. We were trying to do features, upgrades, bugs, all those kinds of things. So it took a team. So hopefully when we get these new products out that are able to roll on their own, we'll be able to go back because people miss it. I know people worked on our site. They were just like, this was fun. This was great. The community was excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you think one day you'll be recruiting models again?
I hope so.
Yeah, hopefully.
I really hope so.
Yeah, me too. Because it was really great.
It was. And our models were really excellent. Yeah. Like there was a wide mix of people. We were super inclusive so everybody could come in. There was no restrictions on things because it was crypto. So you could sleep on cam.
Yeah.
Like there was all these things that you couldn't do on other campsites.
What about period blood?
You could do it all.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's no credit card processing, right? It's
Yeah.
crypto. So who's gonna?
They're the ones who make all the rules. Yeah. The credit card processor.
Yeah.
I think that's really important because, I think people who've been in the industry for a while probably realize that, but people outside of the industry, I think, have no clue that a lot of the rules about what content you can show, they're not like set by the federal government. They're not set by
or the
C
campsites or anything.
Chatterbait or whoever. It's the credit card payment processors that are setting most of the restrictions in porn, right? At least that's always been my understanding.
Absolutely, along with the high prices. So I know that like we didn't even realize this until we started working on the back end. Like it takes so much money to run all these things. I mean, aside from marketing and hosting and security and all these things. So whenever somebody takes a cut now, I'm a lot more less sensitive to it. I'm a lot more understanding. I'm like, I understand that this is going to cost a whole lot to run all of these little things. There were so many costs, like video costs, hosting costs, all these things that we don't think about. And like we really learned like how fucked up the credit card system really is. How much money they take, how many rules they impose, how much regulation there is to get it. I mean, we went through months and months of shit. Literal shit. To get credit card processing. And it was just because the banks, first of all, we're adults. Second of all, we're crypto. So we're really out there.
Right.
And we didn't realize any of this as models. All we knew, we were bitching about MFC taking half of our cut.
Right.
And now I'm just like,
There's a reason why.
Yeah.
So when people go on and on Twitter and bitch about those things, I'd like, I get it now.
Yeah.
I understand how much it really takes.
Right. To do all of that. Yeah.
And sometimes I try to educate people too. Like, because when I know people are putting a company on blast, I try to be like, listen, it takes a lot of time and money and a whole team to do these things. Like, there's a reason why, you're not getting your full pay, and like it sucks. I'm also a model, but I also understand like both sides of it, so it's kind of weird.
Right. Yeah, I think it's frustrating because clients and customers like don't understand what our cut is and think that they're paying us a lot more than they're actually paying us or that we're getting for those transactions. So I think that there's like a lot of layers of confusion about like how much money is being exchanged.
Yeah, for sure. And I try to educate my customers too, because I was in the last ManyVids. I was nominated for something, and I was giving like rewards for paid votes and stuff, and I went through this whole thing with this guy, and I was like, you don't understand, like I've already spent 2 hours on this because he wanted to put in a $10 vote. And I'm like, do you understand that they take 40% of this tip? And then
We're talking about $6
on my taxes. Like, do you even understand like what you're trying to get from me for like so little? Like, it's rude.
Yeah.
Like, it's so
Totally.
rude. And then they're like, oh yeah, I didn't realize. And I'm like, well, there's a reason that you didn't realize, because they don't want really.
Yeah, it's not transparent. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the reason. I think my speculation is that part of the reason a lot of the sites use tokens as opposed to just like dollar amounts is because it kind of mystifies that process. And I think that seems to be somewhat intentional.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's certainly some strategy behind that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, it's easier to tip a whole bunch of nickels.
Yeah.
Than to. And that was a good thing, like, we had on our campsite, too. It was $1 was, like, the minimum. And people loved it. They were like, they come in and they asked for a flash or something.
Right.
Well, on Chatterbait, I'm sitting there and somebody's throwing a nickel out saying something.
Yeah.
When it's $1, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe.
Yeah.
It's like, you just hit me 20 times. Yeah. You're making it rain, but that adds up to $1, dude. Like, that's $1. Like, really, come on now.
Yeah. Yeah. So what are you all working on now?
So we're going to launch tomorrow. We're Thursday today, right? We're going to launch tomorrow. Spank Pay Me. So it's like a wallet system for models. So you can go on and you can put your tag name to it. You can sell things through it. So, like, example, I'd go to Twitter and I'd say, I have some panties for sale for $75.
Yeah.
You go to this link, go tip me there, and I'll send them to you.
Okay.
So they can go and tip you there. It only takes a 1% fee.
Wow.
For crypto only currently. But it's just a really great way because, like, I took crypto since 2014. I got really lucky, got in early, and saved a bunch because I didn't know what the fuck to do with it.
Yeah.
So luckily it grew, and I was able to sell out at a really great time.
Yeah.
And change a lot of things. So crypto for me is, like, really personal and wonderful.
Yeah.
It's been really great, and I use it a lot. I like it a lot.
Okay.
But there's some places that aren't so friendly. So, like, my Coinbase got shut down.
Yeah.
Because I was doing things that I shouldn't have been doing, for sure. Selling things, panties through it, which is very, very terrible.
Why?
This is against their terms of
It's
service.
just against terms of service. I was fucking the terms of service like I did in all the payment apps, but I mean, like, really panties. You know what I mean?
I know.
So I'm selling panties through it or whatever, and they shut me down. So our system won't do that.
Okay, yeah.
We're adult friendly, so you can sell panties or content or whatever you want, subscription service, that kind of thing. And it's also an all-in-one, so you can go put all of your links. So you can find my wish list, my mini vids links.
Nice.
I want fans. If you would just want to find everything where all my links are, you can go there, and you can also tip me through it.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
That
so
is
we'll launch
cool.
that tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah, we've been working on that for like 6 or 7 months or so. So
Yeah.
We're really anxious to, like, get this out.
Yeah.
Not everybody likes it.
Right.
So we're going through the internal testing right now. Well, we've just been through it. So models they have till tomorrow to get back to us. We had a group of beta testers.
Okay.
And they go through and they tell us everything they hate.
Okay.
So they tell us what sucks, what doesn't work, what they need, anything like that. And so then we'll take those feedback to developers and start going. So
Nice.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of great things about crypto. I think probably the biggest concern about crypto is the fluctuation in the exchange rates. So how are you thinking about and dealing with those issues?
So we're a stable coin. So whatever you make is whatever you pull out.
Okay.
Like, yeah. So if you make $75 on a pair of panties, that's what you can pull out.
Okay.
Because everything is done on our back end. We handle the exchanges, all the things like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's pretty great in that accord. But I was talking to you earlier, the problem with crypto is, like, hardly anybody wants to use it.
Mm-hmm.
So we've read statistics like 1% of people use crypto.
Okay.
Like 3% of people buy porn. So you're taking like 3% of that 1%, which is really low.
Yeah.
Right? It's tough. And that was the problem that we found when we had our campsite is, like, we didn't have enough traffic and tips and supporters to completely support the system. So you can put models up with 1 million followers, but if you don't have the tippers in there, like, they don't want to come back.
Right.
Do those things. But who has crypto?
Yeah.
The only people that are paying us are the people that have it. It's so hard to get it. The on-ramp takes days.
Yeah.
You have to go through banks. You have to go through KYCs and put all your info in, all that stuff. So it takes a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. So getting it, no one's done that on-ramp yet.
Although I would think that, and maybe this is total speculation because I don't actually know, but I would think that the overlap of the people who are, like, adult friendly and the people who are into crypto probably overlaps a lot. And so
A lot. I mean, I think you get, like, the renegades that are like, fuck the censorship, fuck banks, you know.
Yeah.
What I mean? So you get those kinds of things. But I know I personally have gotten a lot of hate from the crypto community.
Really?
A lot of like,
There's a
Why do you think
whole
that is?
side that is like
I don't know. I don't
not
know.
about
There's-
adult.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think like they think we're like tainting it or something.
Yeah,
like-
I think that we're giving him a bad name or something like that.
Wow.
Like, I've done interviews before, and people have gotten real shit about it.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's
interesting.
just kind of unfortunate because like we're all in this together. We're trying to do this thing. Like we all
Yeah.
want to be
Yeah,
rebels. Like,
right. I mean, I guess that's why I said that is like, I would think, or it seems intuitive to me that people who want to say like, fuck the banking system would also be like, fuck like adult regulation. But like, apparently that's
and I
not the
think there's
case for some
a
people.
lot of education around that. I think we were saying earlier, like our customers just don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know all these things that we go through. They don't know all the payment fuckery we get.
Yeah.
Or all the stigmas that we face. Like,
Right.
people don't know those kinds of things. I know I was talking with someone who should know these things and is like super sex positive, and they didn't even understand like the concept of testing all the time.
Oh,
They're just
wow.
like, what? I didn't understand that. Like,
That it's really fucking expensive.
it's really fucking expensive, and I tell you all the time, and you're
Yeah.
much cleaner because I was trying to explain like. A big part of the reason that we test is because we're trying to save ourselves from the outside world.
Yeah.
Because we're all clean in here.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Talking about STD testing.
Yeah. So in this testing pool, we're all like,
Yeah.
we're all tested.
Right.
We all are with
Yeah.
each other then in this tested pool. But you go out of the pool and those are the ones. You know?
Right.
Those are the people that are in their 40s and have never tested before.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that shit's scary.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, we're like in there every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And
Yeah.
I think those are just kind of misconceptions that people don't understand. So maybe we
Right.
haven't done enough education to the crypto
Right.
community that we're like, we're here, we want things too. Like,
Yeah.
That's really what it is, and it's just something like we just need to let people know, like, if there is a use case for crypto, like, it's us.
Yeah.
Like, there is a need. Like, payment processors have been having issues
Oh, yeah.
for so long, and like, what happened with Pornhub, like, this is the real use case.
Yeah.
Like, it needs to start with adult. Like, I truly believe that. I think, like, that's the whole reason why, like, they wanted to launch Spank Chain, like, start with the adult community, because it's true. Like, we need this.
Yeah. That's why we came. It's because we were like, we want this product so badly.
Yeah.
We will help you build this product for us.
Yeah.
We want to keep all of our money. We like that idea.
Can you tell us what happened with Pornhub real quick?
So they were using PayPal, which when I read that article, that's all I saw was like, how the fuck did PayPal not shut them down? They shut me down like half a decade ago.
Yeah.
How are they still doing this? So they were using PayPal for payouts, and I guess PayPal came along and says, So they weren't able to pay models anymore. So now they're paying them with crypto, and models are learning this. They're using a stable token, and so they're being able to see like, oh, they can be paid in, Eastern Europe or wherever they couldn't get all these different wires or bank transfers or all these things. I mean, it's an excellent solution.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think to see that happen with Pornhub is really crazy. Because
Yeah.
you feel like they're, like, untouchable with that stuff, but, like,
Yes.
not really.
Yeah, because Pornhub has been untouchable.
I mean, they're like the biggest player in the industry, but I mean, we've gone through this before where we've had to pull, our money out of the bank real quick, or into the bank, I should say, because Payoneer or different payment processors were shutting down, and we're like, oh gosh, if we don't get to the bank today and transfer these funds, we're going to lose our money. Or actually, we had to get to the bank multiple days in a row because you couldn't even take it all out in one. In one day, right?
Yeah, and when they shut your account down, they keep everything that was in there.
Right. And that's the thing I think people don't understand either, that you just lose all your money.
Because so all these people are like, can I pay you with PayPal? Can I do this? And I'm like, yeah, I know that's really convenient for you, but like, there's a lot of risks that I'm taking by letting you do that.
Right. Yeah.
And like, I get that you don't want this on your like credit card or whatever. You don't want many bids on your credit card, whatever. But like, another use case for crypto.
Yeah.
It's anonymous.
Right. Yeah.
It seems like a lot of the people in the crypto community probably are reachable, but the cynic in me is like, I don't know, some of this reduction of the adult industry has to be misogyny. Like, I look at what happens on Twitch, for example, and when, women gamers started to come on Twitch, how like, all the gamer bros got angry. Part of me is like, is that what's also happening with crypto? They're like, no, this is a dude space. Why are these women getting in here?
That is true. That's because the hate that I've gotten was just like this whore's in this space, like tainting space, and it's like, oh, I get it now.
It's like the no girls allowed on the sign on the clubhouse, right?
Yeah. And, I think that's going to be in any industry.
Yeah.
And particularly one in the adult where we're mostly females.
Yeah.
So we're just like lining up so they can take shots.
Yeah, we need
I
that.
took a girl to one of my proms.
Oh,
I had
really?
2 proms, and I took a girl, and my mom's still not over it.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Schools literally don't.
Oh, they
let
weren't
you.
happy. They weren't happy about it at all.
Let's roll this back. So, does your mom know you do porn? Because
This was high school, though, right? So that was like the first clue.
I don't care that you're in the porn industry, but you took a girl to prom.
Oh no, it's my mother's biggest thing is I can't say the word tits and I can't say the word whore. So now I have to go with boobs and hoe. Yeah, she was like, you have to make a compromise. I can't take these things. And I'm like, Mom, you know what I do for a living, but this is what you have a problem with? Like, this is what you chose?
Everyone chooses their battles.
Yeah, I guess.
That's
her
what's so
hill.
why those words?
Tits. I don't even find tits that offensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently.
Apparently. Wow.
Yeah.
What was her reaction when she found out what you do?
I don't know. I think we didn't talk about it for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know if I've told you this story or not, but like the first time she really decided like this is okay is we were having lunch and we sat down at this table and we had our lunch or whatever, and the waitress came to us and she said, "Hey, the guy next to you paid for your lunch and a dessert." And he had written "Thank you, goddess" on the receipt. And my mom was just like, "What? Like, this is real? Like, people know what you are and you're successful? Like, what is this?" That took it until that time for her to actually understand it. And I never
Yeah.
even saw the guy. I never even looked up. Like, I don't know who was even sitting there, what it was like. But
That's really
yeah.
funny.
And then she sold her shoes once, and she thought that was great.
She did what?
She sold her shoes.
Oh.
Yeah,
Sometimes, like, foot
she
pictures and
stuff. Foot pictures. We get our pedicures paid for. She
Oh.
filmed a foot video for me once. You couldn't see her face.
That's
Yeah,
so cute. She's gotten into it. Yeah,
It's just don't say tits.
yeah.
That's the
Okay.
one.
All right.
Or
Whore.
whore. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I use a lot. I don't know if you've reclaimed the word. I use it a lot.
Do you? I sometimes do.
Yeah.
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 I think that's kind of pretty good word.
myself a word, yeah.
Me too. Yeah, I say I'm doing this for the whores or.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, we should wrap up. Can you tell folks where they can find you and find more information about Spank Chain?
Wait, do you mean like?
Like you. Yeah.
Like my
Yeah.
Okay.
Advertise yourself.
Okay. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter. My handle is @theKiaraSkye. You can also find me on a lot of sites if you just type in my name and search me.
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram at Allie Eve Knox. My website is Allie Knox, and that'll take you to all the different sites that I'm on. And then Spank Chain, you can go to spankchain.com or spankpay.me. So we're launching tomorrow. Or SpankPay if you're a merchant and want to go on a different site, that kind of thing. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, this is fun.
You guys.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Thank you for joining us for yet another episode of the Peep Show podcast. I'm PJ Sage, and you can find me on Twitter @PeachSage.
And I'm Jessie Sage, and you can find me on Twitter @sapiotextual or at jessiesage.com.
We would like to remind you that we have a Patreon account and would appreciate your support. Please visit patreon.com/peepshowpodcast. Our music is courtesy of Joe Kennedy. The show was produced by Jessie and PJ Sage.
Signing off. Have a great week.